Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Oh, we have sound. Okay. So I can hear me now through the system, and I figured out what the problem was. Child, TikTok Live Studio had my microphone. Okay, so we are rocking and rolling now. All right, let's bring it. Let's bring things back up. Hello, hello. Okay. All right. So, what is productivity? The act of focusing on and completing the tasks that need to be completed in order to accomplish the established goals that will lead you to success. That is productivity. Focusing on the things you need to do that are going to get you to where you want to be. Okay? And we're going to talk about mindset today, because it's needed. It's needed. I'm witnessing and talking to people that are drowning. They are literally drowning in what they have to deal with in life because so many people are doing their job. Their job is running over into time that they wanted to designate for their business, or their job is so taxing, they're just like, I can't. I can't do my business, and the business is slacking even though they want the freedom, but they're mentally drained. So I'm going to share my screen. Give me a second. We're just going to go over a few things that I know will help tremendously because it's going to shift perspective. And that's what this thing is. It's all about perspective. All right, we're going to make sure that is up. Let's go back to the beginning here. Make sure you all can see. Okay. All right, so it looks like it is up on the screen. Let me get out of that. All right, so now you should be able to see the presentation and hear me. Measuring value and not activity. You know that you are in that busy mindset when it's all about task, 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 and not value, value, value. We talk about bringing value to the client, the potential client. We also have to make sure that our day is bringing value to our vision, value to our goals. Okay? It's not about doing more tasks because that's when you're working harder, not smarter. That's when you're busy, busy, busy. That's when everything in you is tired. And I know that there are moments like right now, I've got my conference taking place tomorrow. I just spoke at an event on Wednesday, all the things going on. And so it's easy to feel like, I just need to sit down for a minute. But when you have the value in there, meaning that you're doing the things that are important in a way that makes more sense. You're doing the tasks that are going to create real impact for your vision, for your moving forward, and not just checking off stuff to be like, Chad, I've been working all day. I've been doing this all day. I've been I mean, it sounds like you've been doing a lot and you probably have, but again, working smart and not hard. True effectiveness. Y'all write this down, put it on a post-it note, let it marinate in your sha na 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 na. Okay? True effectiveness comes from focusing on work that genuinely moves the needle forward. Moves the needle forward. Don't confuse being busy with being effective. Those are two different dynamics, two completely different spaces. This fundamental shift in mindset separates, come on, high performers from those who simply stay busy. Where's my noise at? Where's my horn at? Because listen, that right there, okay, that part, it separates high performers from those who simply stay busy. When you measure value instead of activity, every hour becomes an investment in meaningful outcomes. That means desired outcomes, the outcomes that are going to take you from one step to the next rather than just spending time working. Y'all ever come across that person you hate? You hate to ask them how they doing because shit, you gonna get 5 years worth of negativity and nothing. Negativity and nothing. Because they're not having the desired outcomes. It's not happening in their life. they're working, but the needle is not moving forward. Value versus activity. So activity equals motion, value equals results. So let's go through just some examples so that you get a clear picture of what I'm talking about. If you're checking and responding to emails constantly, it makes you feel like you're getting something done, but what are you actually doing to move the needle forward? There should be a designated time to check emails. When I sit down at my desk, I start responding to emails. And I give myself a certain amount of time because what's going to come through always emails and text messages. Okay? I'm not every single second somebody texts me, oh, I'm responding right then, right there. No, 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 no. Okay? Attending meetings without clear objectives. Why are you going? What is the benefit? Are you showing up just to say you were there? How many Zooms have we been on that could have been an email versus you taking up 30 to 45 minutes of my time? Scrolling through notifications and updates. You know what that is? Social media. Reorganizing files and folders repeatedly. That right there, while there is a place for organizing, it shouldn't be happening every week. Because what you've done, what you've initially started out doing, should set you for the quarter. Then when you reevaluate, you can look and see what you need to tweak. But that's time wasted if you're doing it every week or even every month. Reading industry news without application. That's like a forever student. That person who don't ever get out of college. They always going to get somebody degree, somebody certificate, but they're not walking in what they've learned. That's activity. And this activity can be time wasters when it comes to productivity. And it's a trick of the mind because you can say you were doing something, but you're not doing the thing. Hello, you're not doing the thing. Value, completing projects that advance your goals, pitching yourself. That's going to help you advance your goals. Making decisions that solve problems and move the needle forward. Creating deliverables clients actually need. Okay? If you're talking about doing a mastermind or a retreat or a workshop, are you giving your clients tools and things that they can actually use? Can I tell y'all how many times I have been on a live or a mastermind or something, and I walked away just as empty as when I got on because there were no deliverables. There wasn't even anything to hook me. I'm like, baby, who are you listening to and why? Building relationships that drive business. No harm, no shame, no disrespect. Everything has got to be intentional. Intentional. I have my friend time where we just kick in with the girlfriends and whatnot. I have my family time. And then there is business time. And those who are in business time are not always my friends. Hello. Come on in the room and have a seat, okay? They're not always my friends. I've said this before and I want to reiterate it. Look at your business circle. If you are the strongest link, you in the wrong circle. There's got to be some people in there that can challenge you, that can push you. You cannot always be the strongest link. Because if you are, you're also going to be carrying a lot of weight in that circle that you don't need to be carrying, ma'am and the sir. And then learning skills that enhance your capabilities. You can't just be going around here. I must call it like my grandmother used to call it. She couldn't say certificates. She says certificates. Now, to me, that's harder than saying certificate. But she says certificates. You can't be going around just getting certificates. And it's not feeding your vision. Activity keeps you occupied. Value keeps you progressing. Again, moving the needle forward. The key difference lies in asking yourself this question: am I creating something meaningful, or am I just staying busy? Because if you're staying busy, you're also avoiding, which is feeding procrastination. Okay? We just gonna get up in here, Heller, and call a spade a spade. That's what we gonna do. We gonna call us, baby. Listen, when you're in my workshops, you come to hear me speak. That's what I do. I call a spade a spade because we got to go forward. We have to go forward. Here's an example. Activity mindset. You answer 50 emails throughout the day. You feel accomplished that you cleared your inbox, but realize that none of the responses, none of the things you were responding to moved anything forward or created new opportunities. Can I listen? Let me just let me throw this out here for you. I want you to rest in it. While we definitely want to be on podcasts, right? Every podcast is not an opportunity, y'all. Before you go and apply, go look at some of the previous shows. Go listen to just a couple of episodes. Is that host, that podcaster, going to ask the questions that are going to help you get people to your hook item? If not, do they leave space for you to create the questions that are going to help you get people to your hook item? Please don't think you need to be swimming in everybody's pond, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? I'm just saying. Value mindset. Send 3 carefully crafted proposals that directly address client needs and have the potential to generate significant revenue for your business. And the word potential is in there because we know everybody that we throw that hook out to, they're not going to bite. But if one of them bites, then that means that's a twofold thing. One, you get to help some people. Two, you get to help yourself. Hallelujah. Won't he do it? They need to put a sound on here. I got to see if they'll let me create a sound that say, won't he do it? There you go. The critical question to ask yourself: what's the real result of my effort? Do you just want to go tell somebody, child, I had to go through 200 emails today? 200 emails about what? That's where my mind goes. Who goes through 200 emails every single day? Child, you better get you a VA and stop doing that foolishness. 200 emails a day? How many of them were money-making emails? How many of them were emails that granted opportunity for you to help somebody? I don't know, because that's not what I do. Okay, this simple this simple inquiry helps you distinguish between tasks that feel productive and ones that actually are. Value-driven work often requires deeper focus and may involve fewer tasks. But the tasks that you're working on carry more weight and they move what? The needle forward. If y'all are hearing me, I need y'all to type a 1 in the chat. If you walking with me, type a 1 in the chat. If I'm, making it simple and plain, put a 1 in the chat. Because I want to make sure you're understanding. And if you were in that activity lane and not in the value lane, you got to shift. You have to shift. So here's a little quick exercise for you to do. Write down your top 5 weekly tasks that consume most of your time and energy. Be honest about what you actually spend time on, what you spend time on, not what you think you should be doing. 2, circle the tasks that directly produce measurable results or move you closer to your most important goals. Because some things are going to be steps, right? And you're taking these steps to get you to that bigger thing, that bigger goal. These are your value creating activities. The other items you can delegate out, which takes us to the 3 Ds. Do it, delegate it, discard it. If you don't know what the 3 Ds are, then you need to be getting my book. Hello. If you don't know the quadrant that helps you determine whether, something needs to be done, discarded, or delegated, you need to be getting my book. And I'm going to put the link in the chat. Cross out low value tasks that can be eliminated, automated, or delegated. Discarded, okay? Delegated. We have this push now with Coach and the partnership with Crystal about getting VAs. And I know for some people you're like, I can't afford a VA. You know something I learned? And I learned this from Crystal. Because I had the mindset that I had to provide my VA with a minimum number of hours every week. And she was like, girl, no. VAs work with multiple clients. We have some VAs that only want to work a certain number of hours a day. So if you say I have like 2 to 4 hours worth of work a week for a VA, don't discount that. Because you do have tasks that can be delegated. You do have tasks that can be delegated out. And there are VAs, because they do have multiple clients, they don't mind taking that on. And that when Crystal told me that was so freeing, because I didn't want to gyp anybody, because I couldn't give them 10, 15, 20 hours every single week. If you only have 2 to 4, you can still have a VA, my friend. You can still have a VA. Your daily focus. And I talk about this a lot because people don't do it. Every morning, identify your top 3 high value tasks, your non-negotiables. Your non-negotiables. No matter who, what, when, where, or why. Because these are going to help you move the needle forward. At the end of each week, in your weekly value review, Do an honest and transparent assessment. No excuses, no justifications. Did I produce meaningful outcomes or did I just stay busy? What did I allow in my schedule and I shifted back into the busy zone? Remember, it's better to complete one high value task than 10 low value activities. As in the previous example, it's a whole lot better to send out 3 proposals than to go through 200 emails. Yes, emails have their place, but it takes a lot of time to respond to 200 emails. And I know this because when I talk to my friends who are in corporate America, they say, girl, I spent all day responding to emails. I didn't get nothing done. How many times have you said that? I don't feel like I got anything done today because you were focusing on the wrong thing. You are focusing on low value activity versus high value activity. Okay? That is your first clue. When you start saying that, you went into busy mode. And listen, y'all, if y'all have questions, put your questions in the chat. And actually, let me check YouTube real quick and make sure there aren't any comments there. Want to make sure I'm not missing anybody. Put your comments in the chat. Put your questions in the chat. If there's something you want me to expound on or go back over, let me know. I try to refresh it so that I can see everything. Clear instructions equal clear action. Now, this is a slide that I wanted to put in because I've noticed that we try to give other people clear instruction on what we need them to do. And the key word there is try. But when we haven't given ourselves clear instruction, when we haven't properly mapped out what we need to do, it's challenging to relay that to the people who are helping us. It's not clear. It's not coming across clear because it's not clear in us. So writing clear, simple next steps for yourself dramatically reduces mental friction and eliminates the procrastination that comes from unclear expectations. Our brain craves specificity, specifics, and rebels against vagueness. Listen, and maybe it's just my brain, because when people start talking in circles and they start talking real vague, my face starts screaming and my head tilts to the right. And sometimes I even put my hands together like, what, 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 what do you, what is that? I don't understand that. That doesn't make sense to me. What are you talking about? I'm sorry. Say that again. When instructions are crystal clear, your mind doesn't waste energy figuring out what to do next. Now, while I'm the queen of 20 questions, there are times where I refuse. If I have to ask a person, and it's usually like if somebody wants me to be a part of their project. I'm not pitching myself. We're collaborating, right? And they want to bring me in. But if I have to ask more than 3 questions, whatever this project is has not been fully thought out. It's not been thought out. So I need to take a step back because what they want me to do is not clear, which means they don't really have the clarity themselves. Your mind doesn't want to waste energy figuring out what to do next. Instead, it can immediately focus on execution. This simple practice transforms overwhelming projects into manageable, actionable steps that feel achievable rather than intimidating. Clarity eliminates confusion. Confusion is the enemy of productivity because Coach Sharia tells us this all the time. A confused mind does what? Nothing. That includes your mind. That includes your mind. A confused mind does nothing. Remember that. So the clear instructions, the clear steps start with you. And then once you're clear, you can start bringing other people in, the VA and the collaborations and all of those things. You can start bringing people in to help you. But you first have to be clear. Otherwise, people are either going to tell you they understand and they're going to start doing the wrong thing and delivering the wrong results, and you still going to have to pay them for their time. Or they're going to be standing there looking at you like boo boo the fool. Like, what? The elevator is not going to go all the way to the top floor because they don't know which button to push. And that's on you. Make sure you know. And this is not about overthinking. This is about going to the SMART goal technique. That's what this is. Because when you use that, then the instructions are clear for you. And it also helps you map out what other people need to do. Now, you need help on that. That's where you and I need to be talking. I can't tell you how my eyes roll on Monday night meetings when I be hearing people, and I'm getting real ebonical right now. That's my second language. I know y'all didn't know I was bilingual, but that's my second language. My eyes be rolling when I be hearing some of the BBC family talking about how they're overwhelmed and they're stressed and they're this and they're that, and I'm like, literally right here, literally right here. That's where I am. I'm right here. I'm here to help. That's what I'm here for. Okay? Literally. Why specificity matters. And I talked about this a little bit earlier. Our brain likes specifics. Detailed tasks trigger your brain's action centers. Ambiguous instructions create cognitive load and decision fatigue. So here's an example of vague instructions. Work on project. So if you put in your calendar, I'm gonna work on the project. I'm gonna work on the sample project. What does that mean? What does that mean? You're gonna work on it. What are the steps? What are we trying to accomplish? That is not specific. It's not measurable. Okay. We don't even need to go to the rest of the SMART system. And it leaves your brain your brain starts throwing out all the things that you could be doing, and then you feel like you ADD because you start doing one thing and your brain will start throwing out something else, and you start working. eh, eh, you up in here connecting dots that don't make sense because you didn't tell your brain what you wanted to do. Specific instruction: draft first 3 slides of presentation by 3 p.m. or by noon. That's more specific, and it's measurable, and it's achievable. All those things. So the difference isn't just psychological, it's neurological. Specific instructions create neural pathways that make starting easier. So what is that in plain people talk? It's killing procrastination. It's killing excuses. Draft first 3 slides. It doesn't say do the whole presentation. Draft first 3 slides. That's achievable. It's specific, it's measurable. You can do that. Okay? And everybody that's watching, say hello so I know, and I'll shout you out. And I shout out everybody that tell me hello. So here's some additional examples. I'll go through these real quick. Vague: plan social media. Don't put on your calendar plan social media. Instead, you would say write 3 Instagram captions and schedule them. See the difference? Work on budget. Work on budget. What does that mean? Instead, you would say review whatever quarter you're in, expenses, and update budget spreadsheet. This is, obviously this is going to say quarter 3 because quarter 4 starts next week. Hello. This gives you specific examples, even though, hey, Robin, hey, Brittany, y'all better talk to us, sister. Hello. You can have your calendar. You can have your paper and your digital calendar. But if it's not smart, we have to work smarter, ladies and gentlemen. Don't put vague things, because when you read that, your brain is going to go start going into DTs. If you ever watch Looney Tunes, it's just going to start hopping around and start flooding you with all these things, which creates what? Overwhelm. But when you tell it specifically, this is what I'm going to do by this time. And here's the other part of it. Jesus. When you set that, you got to require other people to respect that. So if I say I'm going to have my first 3 slides done by 3 p.m., and I'm going to start working on it, let's say, because 3 slides could literally take you, 15 minutes. Hello, 15 minutes. I'm not going to let somebody come in on my calendar and stop that, because then my needle is no longer moving forward. The more you respect your time, the more other people will respect your time. And I promise you that's how it works. I promise you, because I have a job along with my business. But you know what my boss says to me? When you get a moment. That's how every sentence starts. When you get a moment, can you take a look at this? Or can you There is no. I told them on Wednesday night at the Wild Wednesday, I have mastered managing up. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And no, I ain't gonna put it in a book. No, I'm not. Y'all better get in on these lives. Hello. I ain't gonna put it in the book because I ain't giving away all the secrets. But I'm telling you, when you respect your time, when you put the value there, other people have no choice but to respect it. And that's on what? Period. And there's some other examples there, but for the sake of time, we're going to move forward. The mini formula for clear instructions: verb, quantity, deadline. Those are the three things you need. Write, call, review, create, send. The action words, those are verbs. We learned that in elementary school. Then the quantity. How much or how many? Okay, is it going to be 3 slides, 30 DMs? Hello, success schedule. 30 DMs, deadline, the when, the when. Okay. And the example that they gave was call 2 potential clients before noon. The example that I gave. Your 30 DMs. Now let me tell y'all something. You have options with those DMs. You can either knock all 30 out, or you can break it up 10, 10, 10. 10 during breakfast, 10 during lunch, 10 before dinner. 30. Housing ever you want to do it. Just what? Get her done. So they know when that do not disturb is on until 12. Brittany says, don't look for her. Don't look for her before 12 noon. Honey, you be looking for a needle in a haystack because you're not going to find her. I love it. I love it. So verb, quantity, deadline. That's your formula. Verb, quantity, deadline. So let's transform a task right now. Pick one big task, and I want it to be that one you look at and roll your eyes. You look at and your heart start fluttering. You look at it and you just, everything in you just starts shifting. That's the task I want you to pick, because it's been collecting dust and cobwebs and all. It's just feeling so neglected. Okay. And then apply the mini formula: verb, quantity, deadline. When you break it down like that, because what it could be is that the task has not been broken down. It could be that you're looking at the end result versus the steps to get to the result. Can we shift our perspective? Hallelujah. Can we shift it? That task over there, and it's probably the task that really needs to get done. Really, 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 really needs to get done. And it's being neglected, which means the needle is not moving forward. And I know there are people who are terrified to go live. Can I tell y'all, just point out something? For the majority of this presentation, you have not seen my face. You have seen a screen with slides on it. Okay? Go live. Go live. And if you don't, if live literally terrifies you, there's several reasons why. It's okay. I ain't gonna call them all out now because I don't have time. But there are several reasons why. You can bring somebody in on the live with you, ma'am and sir. Okay. The success schedule does not say that you have to do a live by yourself or a webinar by yourself. Can can we just go ahead and deal with the elephant in the room? You can bring people on your live to make you feel more comfortable until you are relaxed enough to do some by yourself if you want to. You can have co-hosts with your webinar. That's collaboration. That is literally collaboration. I mean, I just want to know, am I talking to anybody out there on today? Am I helping anybody be free? Because that is my goal. So if your one big task is doing those camera oriented activities by yourself, bring somebody in and partner with them, collaborate with them. Y'all don't have to be in the same space, or you could be. I mean, it's up to you. But here's what I want you to think about. You bring somebody in, you're bringing their audience too. And both of y'all are going to be introduced to folk that you otherwise may not have been introduced or connected to. So it's a win-win, honey. It's a win-win. And let me tell you, just for those of y'all that are in BPC, go into the Telegram chat and say, listen, I want to get some people who are willing to go live with me. This is the date and time that it's going to be happening. Is there anyone who is willing to do one of these dates? DM me. Honey, before you know it, your whole quarter going to be full. Because let me tell you about people at BPC, we like to be seen and heard. Don't play. Do not play, honey. We like to be seen and heard. So we will be up in there with you. So when you put that message out there in Telegram, also put the topic. So you're going to put the date. You're going to put whether or not it's Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok. So put the avenue, put the topic, and put the length of time. Those are all the questions. That's where you need to be clear, be specific. Okay, every other week you bring on a guest. There you go. Brittany brings on a guest every other week with her weekly live. You can have a guest every time. A guest, you can call them guests, you can call them co hosts, and it's a win win for everybody involved because the live will also play on their social media account. You don't have to do this by yourself. Okay? You don't have to. And listen, depending on the day. Do you hear me? Baby, listen. You give me a camera and a microphone. What? It's a wrap. It's a doggone wrap. You hear me? Has it always been that way? No. No. But a closed mouth don't get fed. All right. Progress beats perfection. Perfectionism. Delaying action until it feels flawless. The only time something is actually flawless is when somebody lied in a song. Okay? That's it. Everything is going to have some type of flaw. It's supposed to. It's supposed to. Every book has a mistake. Every presentation has a mistake. You start going through your presentation live, you were like, dog, now I done went through this 5 times and now I'm just seeing this. Yeah, okay, that's fine too. Stop looking for perfect. An imperfect being cannot create perfection. Can we just put that out there? An imperfect being, me and you and I, in case anybody was wondering, cannot create perfection. You cannot. I cannot. We cannot. I don't try to be perfect. I do not try to be perfect. I do not make the attempts. I try to get it right. I try to get it good. The next time we go great. But it is never perfect. It is even when people will say, oh, you did an amazing job, amazing job. My mind is going back through and saying, okay, next time let's do this. Next time let's say that. Next time don't wear them shoes because your feet was hurting. Just simple stuff like that. Just simple things. It's never going to be perfect. Procrastination is postponing tasks due to discomfort or overwhelm. That's why people procrastinate. Discomfort or overwhelm. You're uncomfortable about reaching out to that organization and pitching yourself. You're uncomfortable about reaching out to people and in the DMs and creating that connection. That task is overwhelming because the worst thing they can do is say no. I, I said that sarcastically. The worst thing they can do is say no. And so, what did they do for you? What they did was they got out of the seat that the person who was supposed to be there, they can now get there. You're working your way through. That's all it is. You're working your way through. Your goal is not to be perfect. Your goal is forward progress. That's your goal. Forward progress. Just a couple more slides, y'all. We got started late because of the sound, but if you can indulge me just a few more minutes. Perfectionism often leads to procrastination. They feed one another. We delay doing things because in our mind, we've created an image of what it needs to be and have determined that we can't do it. So we procrastinate. We give excuses. Action creates clarity and improvement. Clarity and improvement. Part of taking action is collaborating with those that can help you get the task done and move forward. If the step is too big for you to do on your own, ask for help. Perfectionism is spending 3 days tweaking a presentation. People do it, people do it, people do it. Progress is delivering a solid draft in 2 hours and you revise it later. It doesn't have to be perfect. So here's some quick tools that you can utilize. The 2-minute rule. If it takes less than 2 minutes, do it now. Just get it out of the way. 5-minute start. Commit to being focused for 5 minutes. then give it 10 minutes, then 15 minutes. This is for those hard tasks. Sometimes that 5-minute start is breaking the task down or brainstorming to think about who can help, or putting it in the Telegram chat and saying, y'all, this is where I am. Who can help me? And then set good enough standards. This is good enough. This will work. This will work. That's what you want to say. It's never going to be perfect, but you always have time to tweak it later. But you don't spend 3 days or even 3 hours, because that means you're overthinking it. And we don't want to do that. Change the frame, change the game. Y'all, reframing, seeing the same situation differently. Go down to the example, because as I give these, I'm going to go through the example. The old way would be, oh gosh, I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. Reframing it says, I can break this into small steps. So don't immediately think or speak, I'm overwhelmed. Reframe your mind to say, how can I break this into smaller steps? And then self-talk means the words you use to reinforce your new perspective. So when you say, I can break this into small steps, then you tell yourself, one step at a time. I've got this. Just do one step at a time. You shift your thinking, then speak the new story to yourself. You shift your thinking, then speak the new story, the new perspective to yourself. And that's what you stand on. That is how you reframe, talk to yourself, and then you shift. So don't say, oh God, I'm overwhelmed. How can I break this into smaller steps? If you can't figure out how to break it down, Telegram, y'all, I've got this. Or DM me, Nichica, can we get on a quick call? The first call is free. The first call is free. After that, it becomes part of the coaching program. I got you on the freebie, okay? But this is how you shift. You have to shift your perspective. And shifting your perspective also means shifting how you talk to yourself, because words are life. And the last slide. Thank you. Let me stop sharing. All right, y'all. I'm going to put into the comments right now into YouTube. I'm sorry, into Facebook. Uh-oh. Hold on. Let's get that back out. There we go. Remove from scene. Here I am. I'm going to put into the comments on the Facebook group my website. Get the book. Get the book. My Cut the BS book. Simple strategies in there that you can implement right now. And if you have not purchased your profits planner, then My website is mindingmybusiness.vip. Don't put .com, .vip. And then this Saturday is the Minding My Business conference, where I am so excited. All the speakers have been confirmed. Emails have gone out where I'm still pubbing because I still have some general admission and VIP spots available. I've been getting some emails while I've been doing this live, so I've got to see how many vendor spots I have available. But listen, if you can get to Greensboro, come on in the room. I have some amazing, amazing, amazing speakers that are going to help you take things to the next level. So I thank you all for being on. I'm going to go ahead and end it now because we have gone over a little bit due to technical difficulties. Get in that Telegram, get in my DMs. That's why I'm here. Y'all have a fantabulous weekend, and I'll talk with you later. Bye-bye.